8 years ago, I sat in a meditation circle listening to a spiritual teacher say something that shattered my understanding of reality. Time doesn't exist. Past, present, and future are happening simultaneously. Right now, infinite versions of you exist across infinite realities. You just need to choose which one to experience. I remember looking at my watch, ironic, I know, and thinking, but I can literally see time passing. I'm aging. The sun is setting. How can time not be real? That moment sparked a journey. I had to know, is time real? Or have we been living inside a construct so convincing that we've mistaken the map for the territory? This is what I've discovered over nearly a decade of searching. There is no time. Only the eternal now exists. Past and future are mental constructs. At first, I thought this was just poetic language, metaphor, a way of saying be present or don't worry about tomorrow. But the more I listened, the more I realized they meant it literally. Someone explained it like this. Imagine your life as a movie on a film strip. Every frame, your birth, your childhood, this moment, your death, exists simultaneously on that reel. When the projector plays it, you experience sequence. But the frames themselves, they're all there, all at once. My mind kept resisting. But I remember yesterday. It's gone. Tomorrow hasn't happened yet. These feel like objective facts, not opinions. And then came the really wild part. Infinite versions of you exist right now across infinite realities. The you who became a doctor. The you who moved to Japan. The you who never had that conversation that changed everything. They're all happening now. You're simply focused on this particular timeline. That was 8 years ago. I don't go to meditation circles anymore, but the question never left me. These days, I read. I listened to lectures, audiobooks, podcasts. I dive deep into physics, philosophy, ancient wisdom. And slowly, over years of exploration, something started to shift. Not just in my understanding, in my experience. So let me share what I've learned. What do physics, philosophy, and spiritual traditions across the world actually say about time? Einstein's relativity revealed something shocking. Time is not absolute. Time literally runs at different speeds depending on how fast you're moving and how strong gravity is around you. The famous twin paradox. One twin travels in a spaceship near light speed, the other stays on Earth. When the traveling twin returns, he aged less. Not because his biology slowed down, but because time itself moved slower for him. But here's what really bent my mind. According to Einstein's equations, past, present, and future all exist simultaneously in what's called the block universe. Imagine space-time as a loaf of bread. Each slice is a moment, your birth, this second, your death. They're all there, existing together. Our consciousness just experiences one slice at a time, creating the sensation that time flows. The physicist Carlo Rovelli says it beautifully. Time doesn't flow. We flow through time. Or perhaps more accurately, we are the flow. But wait, what about entropy? The arrow of time? We can scramble an egg but never unscramble it. Doesn't that prove time has a direction? Physicists say entropy, the tendency toward disorder, does increase in one direction. But that doesn't mean time is flowing. It might just mean the universe started in a highly ordered state at the Big Bang and is moving toward disorder. The direction of time might simply be the direction of increasing entropy. Here's something else. What are we actually measuring when we measure time? Days equals Earth's rotation. Years equals Earth's orbit around the sun. Seconds equals oscillations of cesium atoms. We're not measuring some invisible substance called time. We're measuring change, repetitive changes we use as reference points. When you're 30 years old, you mean your body has undergone 30 cycles of Earth orbiting the sun worth of biological changes. We're measuring change, then calling the measurement time. So physics hints that time might not be what we think it is. But spiritual traditions? They've been saying this for thousands of years. Buddhism teaches that linear time is Maya, illusion. The past is nothing but memory. The future is nothing but imagination. The only reality is this eternal present moment. Zen masters say, when you're washing dishes, just wash dishes. Not because it's a nice mindfulness practice, but because washing dishes is the only reality. Your mind might wander to yesterday's argument or tomorrow's meeting, but those don't exist. Only the dish, the water, this breath exists. Hindu philosophy takes it further. Your true self, Atman, is identical with Brahman, ultimate reality, which exists completely outside time. The individual ego moves through time, but your deepest identity never moves at all. It simply is, timelessly. Medieval Christian mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, there exists only the present instant, a now, which always and without end is itself new. He described God as existing in an eternal now, where all moments are simultaneously present. Past, present, and future are human experiences, but divine consciousness holds everything at once. This might sound abstract, but think about it. If there's an infinite, eternal consciousness, how would it experience time? It wouldn't move through Monday to Tuesday. All moments would be equally present to it. Sufi mystics describe time as God's breath, the divine exhaling creation moment by moment. Each instant is a completely fresh creation, not a continuation of the previous moment. Ibn Arabi taught that existence is being recreated in every moment. We're not moving through pre-existing time. Rather, reality is being continuously manifested through us, in us, as us. Time isn't something we move through. It's the rhythm of divine manifestation. Many indigenous traditions view time as cyclical, not linear. The Hopi language doesn't have clear past and future tenses. It distinguishes between what's manifest and what's unmanifest. Ancestors aren't gone into some unreachable past. They're present but unmanifest, accessible through ritual, memory, and the land itself. Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime isn't past time. It's an eternal dimension existing simultaneously with ordinary time. The creation isn't something that happened once, back then. It's continuously happening. Jewish mysticism describes time emanating from the divine through different levels of reality. We exist in the material world where time flows sequentially, but higher realms experience time differently, more simultaneously, more like eternity. The purpose of spiritual practice? To access these higher states where we can perceive time the way eternity perceives it, all at once. Notice the pattern? Across completely different traditions, separated by geography and culture, We keep hearing, linear time is a limited perspective. There's something deeper, more fundamental, more real than the tick-tock we experience. But here's where I kept getting stuck, and maybe you are too. If time isn't real, why does my body age? Why do people die? Why are there seasons? Why can't I go back to yesterday? These feel like undeniable proofs that time is real. Here's what I finally understood. Change is real. Causation is real. Sequence is real. Seeds become trees. Cells divide and age. Seasons cycle. These are physical processes, cause and effect, action and consequence. But is there an actual thing called time causing this? Or is time just our measurement and organization of change? Think back to that film strip metaphor. Every frame exists. When played, we experience sequence. Frame 1, then frame 2, then frame 3. Change happens. But the frames aren't traveling through time. They exist in a relationship where one state follows another. Your body ages because biological processes unfold. DNA replicates, proteins accumulate damage, entropy increases. But does this require time as an independent entity? Or is time just our label for these changes? Here's the spiritual answer that finally clicked for me. You are not your body. Your body is a temporal process, a pattern of matter and energy that changes within the eternal now. But the consciousness witnessing this? That's what's timeless. Think about it. Your awareness now is the same awareness you had as a 5-year-old. That sense of I am hasn't aged. Your memories have accumulated. Your body has changed. But the witness? The consciousness looking out through your eyes? That's unchanged. You're the screen on which the movie of aging plays. The screen doesn't age. Only the images change. So here's how I reconcile all of this. Reality exists in layers. Physical layer. Bodies age. Seasons change. Entropy increases. Change is absolutely real. Measurement layer. We invented time to measure and organize these changes. Days, years, seconds. These are human constructs, tools for navigation. Time as measurement is our creation. Experiential layer. We only ever experience now. The past is memory, neurons firing in your brain right now. The future is imagination, neurons firing in your brain right now. The present moment is all that exists. Consciousness layer. The awareness experiencing all this doesn't age, doesn't change, doesn't move. Witness consciousness is timeless. So is time real? Time as a measurement tool? Absolutely real and incredibly useful. Time as the flow we experience? Real as an experience, but perhaps not as an objective feature of the universe. Time as an entity we move through? That might be the illusion. And what about those infinite versions of me existing simultaneously? Quantum physics actually supports something like this. The many worlds interpretation suggests that every quantum possibility actually happens, each one in its own branching timeline. Right now, there's a version of you that made every possible choice at every moment. But here's what really matters. You're only aware of this timeline. Your consciousness is focused here, in this sequence of nows. The spiritual teachers weren't saying time doesn't exist to confuse us. They were pointing to something profound. You are not trapped by time. You're not a victim of the past or anxious about the future. You're eternal consciousness experiencing a temporal journey. The aging, the changing seasons, the entropy, these are happening within the eternal now, not across some timeline you're traveling. 8 years after that meditation circle, I'm listening to an audiobook. A physicist talking about the nature of space-time. He says something about the eternal now, about how all moments exist simultaneously. And I realize I'm not checking my watch anymore. Not because I've transcended time or achieved some enlightened state, but because I finally understand what they were all pointing to. Time as we experience it, this march from past to future, this feeling that moments are slipping away, this anxiety about running out of time, that's the construct. That's the map we drew and then mistook for the territory. Does this mean nothing matters? That we should stop planning, stop caring, stop showing up? No, it means the opposite. It means this moment is all there is. Not in some nihilistic way, but in a liberating way. You're not missing anything. You're not late. You're not running out of time. You're here, now, in the only moment that ever exists. Your body will age. That's change happening in the eternal now. Seasons will turn. That's change happening in the eternal now. Plans will unfold. That's change happening in the eternal now. But you, the awareness reading these words, the consciousness looking through your eyes, you were never born into time. You are the timeless experiencing the temporal. You are eternity having a human experience. So, is time real? Maybe the better question is, are you? And if you are, timelessly, eternally, then what does it matter if time is real or not? It's been 8 years since that question first grabbed me. And in those 8 years, nothing has changed. And everything has changed. Welcome to the eternal now. It's the only moment you've ever experienced. And it's the only moment you ever will.